We have thought of some enabling prompts. So if your children are having difficulty with it, just how many ways can you make 10? And that's definitely something I've done with preps. If you Google 1 as a snail, 10 as a crab, you can get a whole heap of black line masters and different representations of the animals from the book. And then as an enabling extending prompt, you might like to think of a large prime number. So my example of a large prime number, I actually can't see. There's a whole heap of different ways that you could do this. So it's a great example.
I'm just popping down a resolve link in our chat box, which will have the link to a task, but it also has all of the images that you can use.
Brilliant. So our next book is The Doorbell Rang, and this is a little bit of a favourite from mine. I do love the recording of The Doorbell Rang. It's from one of my kids' kinder teacher, who is a lovely lady. If you don't know The Doorbell Rang, I'm going to just stop sharing for a moment. This is what it looks like. It's a fabulous book. It does make me think of my life at the moment, apart from the multiple children coming over. But Mum is cooking cookies for the children to share throughout the day. And there are children coming through, and you can probably, I don't know if you can see, but the messy floor, Mum just keeps on mopping the floor. It's a really great book that's relevant to sharing. Can be used from prep all the way through to year 6 for sure. And it's a great resource. Now, at the end of the story, the amount of children, the amount of cookies to be shared change. I have an activity for you to do. I'm just about to share with you. So my point for you is...
There is a delay between Jen's computer and going live, so hence why she's ready to go and task is still coming.
So there are 28 cookies in my cookie jar, Ellen.
Yeah.
And there are 5 people in my family. How many cookies will each member of the family get? Now, Ellen, you're in year 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want you to do is draw a picture of my family and share out how many cookies they have. And I'd like everyone to have a go at doing that. You can change this to think about your family at home. So if you have 5 people in your family, that's wonderful. But if you've got 4 people in your family, you can also share out 28 cookies. If you have 3 people in your family, you could share out 28 cookies. The one very important thing is that you can't give any leftover cookies to the dog. We can't pop them in the bin. As wonderful as Dad is, Dad cannot have extra cookies. As wonderful as Tom is, he cannot have the extra cookies either. And Mum cannot miss out on eating the cookies. Dad probably would try and have them all. Thank you, Simon. So I'd like you to have a go at sharing that through. And then Ellen's going to share with us how she's sharing them now. You can see... I like that. The spares can go in the fridge for tomorrow. That's wonderful. Not today.
Not today.
So, Ellen, can you show us on the document reader what you did?
I don't know because I can't work out the document
I'll
reader.
hold that up.
And
I will stop sharing.
Okay, there I drew in stick figure form the Bowden children at the top with the Bowden parents at the bottom. First of all, because I was in grade 1, I started sharing by ones, and then I got to 2 cookies each, and then I went, I can do this better because that's 10 cookies. So then I gave everyone 2 more cookies, and that got me to 4 cookies each and 8 cookies left to share. And I gave everyone 1 more cookie and then 3 leftovers, which is, I was just in the process of then cutting those cookies up.
Excellent. So what are you going to do now with these leftovers, Ellen?
I'm going to cut
3 leftover cookies.
I'm going to cut each cookie up into 5 pieces and then share them out.
Oh, so tell me, then what happens? How many bits do I get?
Each person gets 1 bit of each of the 3 cookies, so then they'll get 3/5 of a cookie each.
So 3 out of 5.
3 out of.
Excellent. Antonia, you are cracking me up
Yeah,
that you're getting in trouble.
So I'm with you too. Dump them in the tea.
Yes, pop them in the tea, all of those things. I'm just going to go back to the PowerPoint. So I have run this, and I'm sure many of you have as well, with children many, many times, and it is quite amazing the amount of kids who get into working with fractions and fractional parts. So I think it's really, really great.
Equally, sometimes I'm quite amazed how many times I have seen teachers stop children thinking about fractional parts at this age.
Yep.
It is still a familiar context, so we should let kids explore that. So yeah, let's encourage that exploration of fractions.
Yep. And I'm quite happy for younger students to say things like, oh, they'll just get some crumbs, or they'll just get some bits that are left over. But I really want them to think about how do you share that out, and that idea of drawing almost as beautifully as Ellen has, how they're going to share those out. Excellent. So this is another favourite book of mine. It is called One Odd Day. And we're now, the content descriptor is a Year 3 content descriptor, and we can probably have a little bit of a discussion about this. But this content descriptor is about odd and even numbers, and it's the first time that this content descriptor has the concept of odd and even comes up. I think most people online here would agree that you've got perhaps even children before they start school being able to understand the idea of odd and even numbers. But I just put it up there because it comes up in Year 3 first. You can certainly start this activity with preps.
The other thing is this, when the content descriptor pops up in level 3, it is about investigating the conditions required for being odd and even number, which is a bit further beyond than just what an odd and even number is. So hence why there's sometimes a bit of a question about the curriculum, and this is an example where some people think, oh, we need to leave it until later years. We need to scaffold them so that when they get to level 3, they can investigate those properties of odd and even numbers. For example, odd plus an odd will equal an even, and they're the kinds of investigations we want those older kids to get into.
So one odd day starts off as a normal day. Yep, sorry. One odd day starts as a normal day. Sorry, this is the cover of the book. And as this lovely young gentleman goes through his day, everything he encounters is an odd number. So he's investigating the idea of odd. My task for you, I would like you to create a monster for me, and thank you. I'll be to the lovely Catherine Gratz, who sent to me a great Play-Doh recipe. Ellen and I have some Play-Doh that Ellen will be able to work with. Which colour would you like, Ellen? I picked that colour at home. I'm going to go with this funky aqua green. And Ellen and I are going to create an odd monster. Now, you can do this at home as well, and I would love you to do these at home, to draw or create an odd monster, and we'll show you in a moment. I just put it on here. Ellen and I have some cool craft materials that we're going to be using as well to do our odd monsters. But the problem that we're going to be doing here is that our odd monster cannot have any of its attributes that have the same number. So if you have one eye, you cannot have one nose. If you have 3 funny feeler things, you can't have 3 ears. So we're going to leave you with it. I'm going to give us 2 minutes to do this, because I think we'll come back for a chat about our monsters.
And you're going to be drawing or making if you've got something.
And if you need to explore the book, you're very welcome to listen to the reading of the book by the lovely Kate from Windsor Primary School, who read it for us. And I think we have the link for that. There we go. Thank you. One odd day. What are you going to make, Ellen? I'm going to take
No, I don't use it as a square base pyramid, because a square base pyramid actually has 5 surfaces.
Nice.
I was doing that with the boys in their maths this week. Well done.
Okay, I'm going to do Spike.
Because I'm doing.
I'm going to do 9 eyes. I like the way we're sharing our materials.
How do I do that? Maybe because I'm just wondering about my video. One, two, three. I'm going to do
3, 5. Oops. 6, 7, and I love when Lily and I were doing this at home during the week. She had some really good questions about odd, if a number was odd or not, and it was wonderful that she had the materials because it meant that she was able to show me that she could put them into 2 groups. Ooh, I like these sparkly things. I'm making myself, sorry, Ellen, 5 ears, which is very tricky because then they're not symmetrical.
my head.
I know you'd like me to pick the even monster, wouldn't you?
The odds look better.
Yeah.
In colour formation. I mean in art. I want to know the green one. Is there any more green?
Ooh. Okay. We will show you our fabulous monsters in a moment that we're making, but I just wanted to talk to you, enabling prompt. Rather than having an odd number, perhaps you could draw a monster. That has 3 of everything, or perhaps your monster might just have 2 of everything. So rather than working with odd numbers, you might just be wanting to work on one particular number, which might be a way of enabling your students or working with your preps. And or extending, I like the idea of, I'm always talking about children organising their thinking and organising their thinking in a table or a chart. So I really like the idea of the children creating a chart or a table to organise their creativity. This is an odd monster that was created by my little girl Lillian, who is in year 2, and she now is living in a digital world, which is a little bit challenging for her. She's definitely missing her teachers and friends at school, and it was really lovely for her to get some Play-Doh out and have a go at play with some Play-Doh. But I asked her to create a chart as well, and you can see there she's got 5 gems, she's got 7 pipe cleaners, 9 coloured toothpicks, 3 eyes, and 1 pom-pom. And she really loved doing this activity, so that was a really fun activity for her to do. Ellen and I have created ours. I'm going to stop sharing. I didn't get very far with mine, but I've got 1 pointy hair, and I've got 9 eyes, and I've got 5 ears. What do you have, Ellen? Yours is very creative.
So I've done a pyramid, a square-based pyramid. So I have 5 surfaces, 1 eye, 3 spikes, and 7 gems.
Oh, Mama, you have been very busy with your 3 eyes, 13 strands of hair, 7 nostrils, 9 teeth, 5 necks, and 3 legs. I would love to see what your odd monster looks like.
So before we go on, in the chat box, we've been discussing that there are other alternatives of this book. So the very end of my odd day, the last page when you get to it in the reading, refers to my even day, a follow-up book. Following up from the my even day becomes my fraction day, or my half day, sorry. I just wrote fraction day. It's my half day. Then from my half day is a time one. So they do, each story ends with the beginning of the next story. A lot of fun.
It's a little bit like Ozark or any of the series that you've been watching past the time. You just have to get on to the next episode. And thank you from Monica. They're all on Epic. You might want to put the link up to Epic there. Monica, you'd be very welcome to. So the next resource that we are sharing, I think it might be. Thank you. So we're not going to do any activities with these 2 books, but I wanted to share them just because I have put a link to the readings of them, and thank you to the Department of Education. The links to both 100 Hungry Ants and Spinderella are both on the MAV website. So we've got the links to those, but they're also available through the Maths Curriculum Companion and Fuse, and they're both great activities. The other thing is picture books for older kids. So just something I wanted to discuss. This is a fantastic book. My son in Year 5 read through it today. It's a really, really great way and a really great storybook about teaching children about the origin. This is fictional, but it does relate to the origin of Pythagoras. It's a great story. My tip for older kids is they do like to listen to storybooks, but they've got to be really quick. This story takes probably about 15 minutes to read. So it's great for a child to perhaps read in a small group or with a partner or on their own to explore an idea. So I would certainly say we've got quite a few of those. The circumference books are really good, but it's something that you probably wouldn't read as a whole class. You'd probably let children investigate on their own. So these are some of the resources that I love. And some of the websites. Math Through Stories is a great resource. I've already discussed with you Engaging with Mathematics Through Picture Books, which is a wonderful book that Tracy, Sharon and Leisha have read. We are quite aware, though, that there is a wealth of knowledge out there, and we think it would be really great for you to share with each other the different activities that you've done. So what I have created is a Google Drive in which we would love you to jump on, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to go on now even and write some of the activities that you have been doing with any of those books that we've mentioned. I'm really happy to turn this over to the close to 200 people who are out there to say, if you want, I'm really happy for you to start to add other picture books underneath and share that drive with each other. And I love Steve McLeod, absolutely fantastic educator, has done a great activity with 100 Hungry Ants, which has been wonderful. And I would love to see if people could pop their activities on there and you could share them, and perhaps we could have a little bit of a community of people sharing wonderful picture books.
The link's in the chat box as well. So if you just press on the link, the drive.google.com link, blah, 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 blah. It's all there for you. Just click on it and it should pop open.
So we would love for you to go on actually now. Oh, I like that word, as a village for older students. And hopefully start typing in your ideas. So and perhaps most importantly, if you could pop on the in the chat box if you can't actually get in.
And if you are writing in, we'd love to know the author of them. So just write your name at the end of what you've got to say. And see people popping in.
Fabulous.
Someone's got a cool name, Anonymous Wolf.
I don't know what is funnier, but it is really great to see that Google has had to come up with some very creative names for you as animal names. So it's wonderful to see at least 40 people on that document. I'm going to come back to this slide and leave you with this slide in a moment, but I just wanted to quickly finish off the PowerPoint and then come back and give you the opportunity to collaborate. If people can't get on with the Google Docs, I would assume that the issue might be that we've got so many people on there already. So please feel free to pop into the chat, and I'm going to stop this so I can see the chat and write some answers in a moment. Any questions that you might have, we're really happy to share them with you. Very importantly, this survey feedback, we really would like to know how you have enjoyed this webinar and how we can help you further. So thank you very much for participating. I'm going to give a big shout out to Kate and Megan and Ellen, who have read some books that you will all be able to share with your schools, and you're very welcome to do that. So thank you to you all. I'm going to go back onto this. So yes.
So if you're looking for picture storybooks and want to extend the library that you have, as Jen said, it's definitely been a passion of ours, and we've been lucky enough to curate our stock at MAV. Now, this is not every picture book out there, but we have a tremendous stock And in the link on just below, I've added a link to the MAV picture book part of the website, and in that link you'll find our currently stocked books, and we have over 70 maths picture story books at the moment, and they're all mapped to the Victorian curriculum. Actually, sorry, they're mapped to the Australian curriculum. So if you're looking for something new to add to your category or catalogue, have a look in there, and we always want to stock more. There's certain reasons why we can't stock certain books, all to do with publishers, but anyway, jump on there and have a look at a variety of different books.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump onto the chat and just keep the screen up. So if you have any questions, please jump onto there. And we would love to see your feedback on the Google Drive. Yes. So please chuck some things in there. Thank you.
We've been popping in the chat box lots of some of our favourites, The Art of Cleanup, Who Sank the Boat, Alexander's Outings. All of these are wonderful books.
And Chris Westcott, I was just about to email you to see if you got in, and I see that you have, so that's wonderful. Yes, sorry, I'll put.
We have the link. Oh, yes, yeah. I'll pop the link again.
Go. And it's up in the PowerPoint. 365 penguins. Absolutely. Thank the boat, which is a wonderful one. Link is back. So Ellen and I are going to say thank you. We will be here to chat with you if you would like to talk to us. We also are very keenly watching the Google Doc and seeing all the great activities that are being added to that. So we're hoping that that will help you with remote learning, and perhaps we can make an even stronger resource out of it. In the meantime, please keep putting up those wonderful books. We're going to copy and paste them into the Google Doc Drive as well, so that you can see all of them. But thank you, everyone, and thank you for your chatting participation. I hope you had a little bit of fun.
Good night.
I know, picture books are actually my downfall as well. Yes, we will definitely be emailing out a copy of the slides. It may just be in PDF form, but I'll try and do it in both forms for you, so you can share it with your staff if you need to.